Hello everybody, today's video is going to be InteractiveBoard. This is a premium plugin running on versions 1.8 to 1.15, and this was brought to my suggestions on my Discord by Jackout, so thanks man for the suggestion, and also a shout out to the developer for allowing me to showcase this plugin to you guys. And a very cool plugin, and let me go ahead and demonstrate how this plugin works, and you guys can see it in action instead of me explaining it. So basically, this is the interactive board, so you can interact with this board and it does move like the images around, and you can also click on it and will open up different types of actions. So this one is the crafting table, obviously, and then you also have the enchanting right here, and then you also have a shop, and then it will pop up a shop right here. So you have your food, blocks, materials. So if we go to click the food, and then you can like buy certain things, and then this also works in with placeholder API. So then if we do ECO give and then Soul Striker, and we'll give myself $1,000, as you see now we have $1,000. So we can go ahead and buy some carrots here, buy some potatoes, and then buy some steak. And there we go, we just got that. And then we can also sell some items. So we go ahead and click sell, and sell, and then there is my balance again. So very cool, guys. Like, this is amazing plugin. And I'm sorry about the lighting for shaders. I will be turning it off a little bit later. So this is a very cool plugin, guys, and highly recommend it, and it is pretty awesome. So there's a lot of that you can do with this. So I'm going to show you guys sort of a brief demonstration of how you can create a board, and then let's go ahead and get started. So the main command for this plugin is /IB, and then now we can go do IB create, and then we'll just go ahead and hit enter, and this will give you some blocks to start doing your selection. And so this is very similar to World Edit in a way, but you can only do specific items that are in the same lateral plane. And so for example, if I wanted to do something like from here to like over here, this would not work because it needs to be in the same plane. So if I go ahead and try to do it, and then I can do IB create, and then we'll just do like A, as you see there is error because it must be one wide in one direction. So then what you would do if you wanted a board to be on the outside of this area, what you could do is, I'm going to head and remove this block real quick. So if you wanted to do from right here, so basically where the glass block is going to be, that is where the paintings are going to be set up as. And so I want it to be about right here. Okay, so now if we do IB create, and then we'll do A, as you see it did fill in that place where the grass block was. And then if you don't want that there, you can do IB delete, and then it will give you this really cool interface, and then you just punch it and then confirm it, and there we go, and then it's all gone. So hopefully all that makes sense. So for example, I want a board to be encompassing this gold area. So what I would do is I would just place the one block here, the first position, and then place another one up here, and then now we can do IB create, and I'm just going to call this YT because this is the board that we want. And just like that, that is how you place the board. And so now we can go ahead and start editing everything in the configuration files. So let's go ahead and start with that.
Be sure to check out this video's sponsor, Songoda. Songoda is a new and unique marketplace where you can find free or paid custom plugins. With the help of continuous user and developer feedback, Songoda is continuously working towards making those ideas a reality. Visit the Songoda Marketplace and Discord with the links below.
So just to be aware, there is going to be a lot of configurations in this video, so I will try to keep it short and simple, just so you guys understand. So in here, you have your InteractiveBoard plugin, and so here's your main config. There's not really much that you can do in here, just some general settings. You don't really need to mess around with it, to be honest, but we're going to be going into the boards, and then we're going to be going into our YT, and so this is where we're going to be editing all the various things. And so in here you can actually set permission nodes for specific boards, which is pretty cool. So if a player has the correct permission node, they would see one thing versus someone who didn't, which is a pretty awesome feature. So one thing I highly recommend is coming to the Bukkit page, and then this is where you're going to be basing off of all your different types of board settings. And so here is objects and then functions. And so I'm going to be showing how to do the button, the image, and then the GIF, and then we'll also probably do the text and background. And so each of these has a different example of what you need to put. So for example, the text, you can have X and Y coordinates, you can have placeholders within the name, you You can even change the font, which is pretty cool, and then you also have sizes, bold, and a color of that specific image. And then you also have children objects, which is basically if you wanted to have multiple objects together. So for example, you have your text and then you could have an image in that. And I will show you guys how to make this. So definitely make sure you come to this Bukkit page to see the different functions and the different objects that you can do. So what I'm going to be doing first of all is I'm going to be coming and getting my own custom font. So we're just going ahead and just dive right into this orange juice, and I'm going to head and download it. And then coming back to my file manager on ReviveNode, if you guys want to check out ReviveNode for yourself, their link will be down in the description. You can use my code Striker for 15% off. So what you want to come in here, go to the fonts, and then I'm just going to head and upload my zip file real quick. Go ahead and upload that bad boy, refresh the page, and then go ahead and decompress it. And so then it would go ahead and put all our different types of fonts in here. So we don't really need any of this. I'm going to use the OTF font, and so this is Open True Font, and this is True Font, or something. I don't remember the extensions, but you just need one of them. If we want to come back and check images, I've already uploaded some pre-images on here, so you can upload images right here, or you can also get them from some sort of web link as well. So I have a few uploaded in here already. So now, since we have all that set up, let's go ahead and dive into getting the board set up. So I'm going to go to my YT board, and this is where we're going to be doing everything. So the very first thing is I want to change the background of my image. So you can do this like this if you want just a plain background, but I want an image for my background. So to start adding images, you need to have the children subset. So this is sort of like an inheritance. And so I'm going to head and do children, and then make sure you space it out 2 spaces. And then now we're going to pretty much be doing this image object. And we're pretty much just going to be copying this whole thing, and then we're going to be putting it in here. And so I will put a picture on the screen now so you guys can follow along and see what I'm going to be doing. So the very first thing I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to call this background. Alright, so this can be named pretty much whatever. Make sure you put the colon and then double space, and so make sure it is lined up properly. Now we need the type, so the type is going to be image, and then now we can set our coordinates. I'm just going to do 0, y is going to be 0, this is going to be the width, let's go with like 500, and then we'll do height for 50, and I'm just pretty much putting in random different types of things. And then now we need the image specific file type, and so here is my image I'm going to be using is background.jpg, and so I'm just pretty much going to copy that and paste it in right there. So I just realized that I spelled width wrong, so that is probably why. So let's go ahead and try the width for that. So let's go ahead and save that, reload, and see. Yeah, okay, so that looks a lot better. Now it just needs to expand a little bit more. So I'm going to bump this up. Let's do like 800. So we'll do 800, and then let's do like I don't know, 650, and we'll look at that. So as I said, there is a lot of troubleshooting within this. Let's go bump this down to about 450, and then let's try that, and there we go. So that's about how I want it. So now I want to go ahead and change the messages up here, and so you can hook in with placeholder API, so just be aware of that. So this is a player name for placeholder API. If you want to download other different types of placeholders, you can totally use it within this. And so now let's go ahead and change this text. So I'm going to keep the text the same, and then we're actually going to be using the font. So let's go ahead and use that font that we uploaded. So I'm just going to paste in that name and then remove the extension, and let's go ahead and save that and see if that does work. So now let's go ahead and reload the board, and there we go. As you see, it did change. So that's pretty awesome, guys. We can use your own custom font. I do want the size to be upgraded just a little bit, so let's go ahead and do like 65, and we'll see what that looks like. And oh, that's a little bigger than I thought, but hey, that gives your attention for sure. And then you can change the colors of the text as well, so I'm just going to change this to 0. I actually don't know what color that would be, but hey, that's purple. That's perfect. So that is looking good. So now what I want to do is add an image where you can see your health. And so this is going to be, I'm just going to call this health. And so this can be named pretty much whatever. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, and then we will need the backspace, make sure everything is loaded properly. So 1, 2, and then we'll just go ahead and line up everything else. So I have went and found a heart image. So this is going to be a heart image online. So I went ahead and found a heart image online. So this is the address. And then so now what I'm going to be doing is you're going to do from internet and then set this to true. And so that will just tell the plugin, hey, this is from the internet, not from the local storage. And so now what I want to do is I want to send the player's health when they see the heart. So we can go ahead and do children again, and so this is going to be the children. Now we need to double space, and then this is going to be a text, what I'm going to be doing for the text. So make sure you double space again, and then we can go ahead and do type, which would be the text, and then now we need the text message itself. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to actually surround this in the quotes, I guess. And so this is going to be health, and then this is going to be player health, and then I'm going to set this to rounded. And so this is actually with a placeholder API where you have the expansion of player. So to keep in mind, some things about these objects are not necessarily needed. So like for example, if we go ahead and save this, let's go ahead and see what it looks like in game actually. So I'll do IB reload, and there we go. As you see, my heart image is right here, and it does tell me the player's health. If we go ahead and do a Pappy eCloud download player, so that would be the player expansion, that is what it would look like. So you would need to download that expansion first with placeholder API, and then just go ahead and reload it, and there we go. As you see, it is now 20, and that is the health of me. And so as you see, the name does sort of open up a little bit with the heart. And so what we would need to do is go ahead and set that coordinates. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. So we'll do X, and I'm just going to head and do we'll do like 50, and then Y, I just want it 0. Then let's go ahead and actually make the text bold, and we'll set that to true. And then color, let's just make it white, 255, 255, okay? So there we go. So now if we go ahead and do reload, so that actually looks really good. It is spaced out pretty well, it is bold, and it does have my health. I'm actually probably going to change this just a little bit. So I'm going to head and actually remove that color, because I think black might actually look a little bit better. And so there we go, yeah, the black stands out just a little bit more. And if you wanted like multiple colors, you would just have to make a new text one. So say we wanted the player health to be red instead. So I would just head and remove this section, and then this would go ahead and put the player's health right here, and then I would actually change this color, will be like 255, 255, 255. So I'm gonna call this hearts, and so make sure it needs to be different from, you know, this first one. So let's go ahead and save that actually, and we'll go ahead and reload it. And oh yeah, so I do need to set the health a little bit farther. So let's go ahead and do like 60x, and so let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's still not far enough. So let's go ahead and do like, so I think like 110 might actually be just perfect. And let's see, yeah, so that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and move right along. So say we want to have another sort of symbol of this health, but we want them to be able to click it, and I would actually heal them. So now what I'm going to be showing you guys is how to make a button. And so this button allows you to click different things to execute specific commands or other different types of functions. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to head and copy this just so all the alignment is accurate. And so I'm going to head and change this to a health button. And so what I want this to be doing is when a player clicks it, it will just heal them. And so this will be underneath the health image. So the type is just going to be a button. So we're pretty much just going to copy this whole thing. So let's go ahead and just copy all of this, and then we'll just go ahead and paste it in here. Alright, so let's go ahead. So now we can just paste it in there, and so all the alignment is accurate already because this is our new object. So button, yes, color is fine. I'm going to head and set this a little below this x coordinate. So I'm going to leave the x coordinate to 30, and then the y is I'm going to set about 250 because this will be right under our second one. Okay, so then our width will be 200, height will be 200, that will be fine. Invisible false for right now because we need to see the button first, and then now we can go ahead and set the different functions. And so this spacing is not quite accurate actually, so let me go ahead and space that out. So there we go, that function is a little bit better. So make sure you have all your alignments set up properly. So now the children, I want to go ahead and set this to the image like we did up here. So this will go ahead and just do health image, and I'm going to go ahead and double space, and I'm pretty much just going to copy this whole thing again. So the type is just going to be image. The last thing we need to get is the image itself, so go ahead and just paste it in here real quick, and then we'll just space this properly. So there we go, that should have our image. So now let's go ahead and save that real quick, and then we'll go ahead and do LB reload, and yeah, as you see, there is the heart, and then this whole thing is the button itself. So we can go ahead and decrease that button, and then we can also bring in the size of the heart real quick. Alright, so now we have the heart here, and that red square is that button. I'm actually going to change the color to 0, because that will be black, and that will show it just a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and reload it. So as you see, there is the button, and it is a little bit off to the side. I want it to go a little bit down and to the right, and pretty much just cover the whole heart area. So then when we click it, and we'll go ahead and execute specific commands. So the heart area is looking pretty good actually, and so let's go ahead and add functions. And so keep in mind, here is all the list of functions, and I'm going to be actually doing the command one. And so here is what it looks like. Here's command one, the type command. You can do it from console or from the player itself. So I'm going to have this execute the console command to heal a player. So pretty much what you want to do is just go ahead and double space in, make sure you call it something unique. So I'm just going to do this heal, and then we'll do a double space again, and then the function type, the type is just going to be a command. So do type command, and then now we need to go ahead and specify, and then execute from a console, and I want this to true, and then now we can go ahead and set the command name. So this will go ahead and be heal, and then now we can go ahead and use placeholder API placeholders to get the player's name. So player name and then %, and that should go ahead and heal the player. So let's go ahead and save that real quick, and then let's go ahead and do IB reload. So if we go ahead and click it, as you see, I am getting healed because we are clicking that button. And so if you want the button to be invisible, this is where the invisible comes into play, and just set that to true, and so then you won't be able to notice anything else. And there we go, that actually looks really good. And then if we go ahead and click it, as you see, I am getting healed, which is awesome, guys. That's so cool. So I went ahead and go ahead and put a message on the side right here, just says pretty much click to heal. So let's go ahead and add a text down here. So this is going to be into the inheritance section under the children, and we'll go ahead and put it right here. So now let's go ahead and do text, and then we'll go ahead and double space, and then now we need the type, which is going to be the text obviously, and then this is going to be text. So now we need to say what we want. So I'm going to head and do the quotes, and then I'm actually going to double space or triple space, and I'll just say click to heal. So let's go ahead and save that, and then let's go ahead and reload it and see where that puts us. Okay, so we do need to go to the right just a little bit. So I'm going to head and actually make some X to Y coordinates. So we'll do X, so we'll do like X10 I think, and so I think that would move it over to where we want. So let's go ahead and try that, and it does need to go over a little bit more. So let's try about like 25. So I'm going to put X to 25 and see where that puts us. And so there we go. That actually looks pretty good, guys. So now let's go ahead and test it out. So I'm going to go ahead up about 15 blocks, and then we'll go ahead and take some damage here, guys. And so yeah, there we go. So our health is now back down to 8. If we come up here, go ahead and click this, and there we go. We just got healed, guys. So very cool interactive board. Really awesome plugin. So hopefully this video was get you started into how everything does hook on together. So huge shout out again to the developer for allowing me to showcase this video and also give me some examples for you guys as well. So if you guys want this specific example with hearts, I will actually leave this YML file down in the description. You guys can go download it if you do want to do that. So anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions. The developers Discord will be down in the description as well. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Peace out. you.